So, I mean, I really didn't want to do this. So I don't know what day this is. Five maybe. And I left it a bit late. Or well, 7:30 really. But it's a Saturday, and I suppose I just didn't really want to do this. I'm already at back out point. I'm already questioning. Whether I'd rather just stay. Um, stay as this person that I am. Stay whoever I am right now. And obviously there's a huge part of you that will, because we're survival mechanisms, and I'm still alive, so it's in many ways justifiable to stay as who we are because we're alive. So what's the problem? But like in reality, I don't feel that alive. Personally, I don't know how you feel, but like look at these like mental health crises. Look at these problems that we're facing as men, as women. Um, you know, I mean, we're all arguing. Kids are being forgotten about. Uh, Everything's just missing kind of certain key ingredients, and you know that's a reflection of us, right? Of who we are, of what we've become. We've kind of lost, I think anyway, personally, we've lost in a sense what it is to be human. And like look at all the knock-on effects, like birth rates are down in the West, um, belief is down, religion's down, all these kind of like seemingly in the past anyway, these integral elements to the healthy human soul of kind of spiritual expression and physical prowess, um, doing hard things and not needing to kind of vocalize so much noise, which almost isn't relevant to maintaining the productive system. I just spent an hour and a half on YouTube, and this is a habit I picked up out of dependency for, I suppose, feeling like I am improving, but in truth, I'm just lying to myself that I'm improving. I'm just bombarding my brain with unnecessary information, which not only uses mental energy, but takes me away from self focus and doing what's best for myself and resting, really, to recover so that tomorrow I can be at least the same or maybe even a better person. And I think that the biggest problem I found is, personally, in my journey, is I'm tensing up around what I really am. I'm almost suffocating myself. I'm suffocating what I would have naturally been inclined towards if I'd been in an environment which had supported growth in that direction. And I'm continuing to constrict that potential for growth. And I'm doing so unconsciously. But, I'm becoming aware of it now. I describe this thing as self-hatred. And particularly in certain areas of my body, I am unconsciously restricting resources. I'm tightening my grip around parts, like organs, is how it feels in my body. Like, your face goes, and you're trying to ignore something that you haven't been taught how to deal with, or that you once intuitively dealt with and accepted, but were bullied, degraded, disrespected when you communicated it externally in such a way now that you are afraid to express that very thing. And that's what I am. I saw it today. I personally, I walked my dog, and I praised him. I was just booting a ball back and forth, like flicking it up and booting a tennis ball for him, and bringing him back. And I I felt that thing that I'd been shutting off within myself come to life a bit, and it was praise for behaviour, something that I didn't get. And so I suppose I've always been a bit hard and grinding myself down in that give yourself a pat on the back, and I was like, that's all nonsense. Nonsense. Pat yourself on the back for what? But like, what a trap that is. Pat myself on the back isn't, I think in some ways, an expression which I interpret well, but because it feels ridiculous. Like, well done, mate. I mean, it feels ridiculous, but just doing that, I actually feel better. I actually feel a little bit better. But it's like praising the dog, booting the ball. I was like, do it again. Come on, man. I believe in you. You can do it. You can do it. Bring it back. 5 minutes left. Keep going. And I realized, yeah, and I suppose within that, I allowed myself to become more aware of what I was starved of. Physical touch, particularly, and praise. And without praise, you don't know where to place yourself. You know, I failed in school not because I wasn't clever. I failed in school because I'd never got praise for doing anything in school well. Along with many other reasons, I want to be clear. I don't actually know the full picture. There's many layers to it. But like, if you personally, if you're failing in something, then, I mean, are you being correctly praised by the people around you? Are you being rewarded for your hard work? Are there people's advice that supports your growth in that area? Do people care that this thing that you're doing is good for you and that it improves your life? And are they aware of how important doing well in this thing is to you? And that it, you know, you consider it a part of yourself, and you just want people to validate you, in a sense, for the hard work that you're doing. Because it's hard to care about things, it's hard to love. Because the only thing, I think personally, because the only thing that's promised in life is that everything's taken away. Everything else is uncertain. And so to protect ourselves, we fall out of love with the world because we know it's going to be taken from us. And in doing so, we kind of fall into a negative spiral. Because you have to love, as far as I can tell anyway. And love is addressing the needs of a system. Love is giving something which allows it to grow, as far as I can tell. Love is an actual thing. It has a functional value. It is a commodity. And it serves a purpose. It's not just magic or voodoo or whatever. It's real. You know, and like, I for my whole life I've kind of like played with these things in my brain about what I was and what's wrong with me and why I can't be this person, and just beating myself down with hatred, basically. And it's almost disappointing that I've reached this point in my life, and me personally, and I imagine it's just the same is true for so many people, is the big problem, the issue of all issues, is that we've fallen out of love with ourselves. I mean, like, I can look in the mirror and I can see faults, but what a waste of my time. Like, you know, yeah, I get really bad skin and I've got to be strict with my diet, but I've got a fully functional, working male body. I should be so grateful every day. It is hard to be when I'm really inflamed and I've got all these things going on in my body and I'm drained and I'm not functioning well and I'm seeking refuge from my body. But if I could only learn to love it, it would heal. Because it would know I care about it. It would know that I love it. And that love is giving it what it needs. Instead of what I've fallen into the trap of is just restricting its communication of what it needs and starving myself. Literally, in some cases, of food. Yeah, and I lost a lot of muscle mass and got really sick. So yeah, just look, if you want to love, find out what it is that you need, or that thing that you love needs. You know, you might love a sport, and so you find out how to be good at that sport, what to eat, how to train, what times to train. You might love a subject, you know, how to learn that subject, how to do well in exams, who to surround yourself with that also likes that subject, so you can kind of unconsciously learn from them just through conversation, which is enjoyable. Or, you know, you might love beauty products, and so you can kind of test beauty products and review them online and kind of like say good and bad things about them, and in doing so you can learn how to rate products, and you know, and just all of these systems of love are geared towards improving ourselves. I want to love.